one big question that like still hasn't been answered is just who or what is the prototype. I have a couple theories on who the prototype is. When you listen to the tapes in Chapter 3, more and more of what is actually happening at Playtime Co. gets discovered. Like from the Catnap tape and from the restricted files on their YouTube channel, you can actually see that somehow they're transferring people's consciousnesses into toys. I don't know if they're doing that, whether they're just putting their brain into the toy, or if they have them hooked up to some kind of machine that they're controlling them like a surrogate, but that machine has put them into a coma, so they're just constantly stuck in the toys. But one of the big questions is, who's the prototype? How is he pulling all the strings? And does he have additional powers that we don't know about? Like some people thought that Huggy was a prototype, but after his death in Chapter 1, those theories have kind of been stopped. I think we'll see Huggy return in Chapter 4, just based on some of the other tapes and death scenes that we've seen. I think we haven't seen the last of him, even though he literally bashes his head 3 times off these pipes down there. So with him leaving the blood, that's what's leading me to believe that they're putting the brains into the toys. But what brain is in the prototype?
Final log. In relation. Experiment 1006. The prototype. Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set, as well as the skill set of all other experiments of his type. Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him. His absence was a flaw in the scientific process, which should have under no circumstances been left unaccounted for. That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake won't be made twice. Any future experiments will need to be contained and disposed of in a secure location. I'm not worried about myself. One breakthrough and I'll be back. We must forge onwards in the name of science, whether those who are beneath us understand it or not. End of...
Now, the first prototype tape was pretty interesting because I feel like it was foreshadowing what was what's going to come in the future. I believe that tape was taken during the Hour of Joy, because you can hear the screams, and then all of a sudden, whoever's narrating the tape, it just cuts off when you hear stomps coming towards him. Now with the Mommy Longleg death, she says something very, very interesting that leads me to believe that the prototype does have additional new powers. When she dies, she says he will make me part of him. So I have a feeling that like the prototype is taking the bodies, same reason why he killed Catnap. The prototype is taking the bodies to add it to him. So like I think we'll see a version of Mommy return, but she'll be part of the prototype. It's this death scene right here.
What have you done? You make me part of you! You can't do this to me!
And then we can see the prototype taking Mommy Longlegs away. So I don't know whose brain would be in Mommy Longlegs, whether it was the head of the daycare or just some random person that volunteered for the program. But they're definitely they're doing something beneath Playtime Co., the daycare. Through one of the Catnap tapes, they actually said that this is your 4th month in your new body. So that already tells us that they're putting people into toys. We just don't know how yet. This next prototype tape's pretty interesting. Gives us a little bit more insight into the prototype and potentially who he is.
Log code 08502. In relation, experiment 1006, the prototype. A close call occurred this week in which he nearly breached containment. The prototype seemingly disassembled the digital alarm clock within his room and utilized the battery, along with several other components, to create a laser pointer, which he then fired into the security camera, disabling it. These actions allowed him 28.3 seconds completely unmonitored. Once function returned to the camera, the room appeared to be empty. One surveillance specialist went in to confirm his absence. However, upon opening the door, she realized that the prototype had hidden in one of the camera's blind spots. The prototype attempted to escape through the open door. However, another surveillance specialist was able to remotely relock the door, despite the other specialists still being inside. One casualty occurred. The prototype seems to possess an unprecedented level of intelligence, beyond that of all other test subjects, as well as an alarming willingness to commit violence. Further suppression treatments will need to be enacted to ensure that no other experiments develop these qualities. Experiment 1170, Huggy Wuggy, remains the optimal outcome due to his sufficient intelligence paired with maximum obedience. End of log.
Log code 24459. In relation, experiment 1006. The prototype. Stubborn as he is, and always silent with each passing session, I'm still uncovering fresh data nonetheless. Today's discovery. End of log.
Ready to talk now, are you? I possess
A question.
Go ahead.
Do you feel anything?
This question referred to what exactly?
You stick us, beat us, tear our flesh.
Do you feel it? There's a secret inside you, 1006. Valuable beyond all measure. I cut and prod and burn at it, and I get closer with each session. So speak, or don't. Fight, or give in. Regardless, I learn something new about you every day. It excites me. Thank you. You thank me. Absolutely. I learn something new about you every day.
With the prototype's different voices there, that's what's leading me to believe that he can absorb other beings or other critters or other toys and just like add them to him, so he becomes this big amalgamation of different toys. Like the shrine that Catnap makes is that going to be his final form? Is that what he's going to look like, or is he going to have more toys added to him, or is he going to be something completely different? And that was just a shrine of sacrifice, all the toys that Catnap had killed for him. But the toys are viewing the prototype as a god, with little Dog Day's speech up here. He literally says he's a god.
You're Poppy's angel. Come to save us. Nothing left to save. Not here. Bird Catnap's home, angel. Their home. A myriad pairs of eyes are on you now. Watching, waiting, hungry. They want nothing more than to crawl beneath your skin and eat away at you God, and this is what he does to heretics. These little toys follow Catnap to avoid that very fate, and in return, they are fed. We try to fight it, the Prototype's control. I am the last of the smiling critters. Listen to me. You need to get out of this place. You need to live. You and Poppy could fix this. End this madness. The torment. Oh no. Oh no. Leave me. Please. Just go. Run.
So if we look at the shrine in the caves, you find the shrine in the caves that Catnap made. You can see that there's a bunch of different toys. This thing looks massive. So I don't think this is the original version of the Prototype, because of the second tape where he built the laser pointer and he was able to hide from the cameras in a corner. There's no way that thing can hide in a blind spot of a camera because it's massive. So I think that the Prototype is adding additional toys and critters to him in creating this gigantic monstrosity. For me, they're toys that have helped him or toys that stood against him. It's really kind of my theory as why he killed Catnap, why he took Mommy's body. Did he take Huggy's body and we didn't get to see it? Or is Huggy coming back as something completely different there? But my theory as who the Prototype is I think it's none other than Playtime's founder and creator, Elliot Lugwood. I think it's him. I think they put his brain, he put his brain into one of these bodies. They haven't been able to replicate his research, so that's why they're studying the Prototype. I don't think he's the Prototype because he's the first one. I think he's the Prototype because he somehow has additional abilities that they're trying to unlock. That's why I think he's the Prototype. And that's why I think it's Elliot Lugwood as well. Because if you read this little text right here, it says the Prototype saved Catnap. So I think Catnap had this tragic accident where he might have been paralyzed from the neck down. So he gave him a second chance at life so he could live together. There's another tape talking about, during the nightmare sequence in Chapter 3, about how he's leaving his house all day and all night. He's showing up at weird hours. So I think he's constantly doing the research and trying to figure out how he can put his brain into one of these things so he can live forever. And I think he was successful with it. I don't know. I don't have like any inside information if it is Elliot Lugwood. I just thought like it'd be an interesting twist. And I can kind of see it, the creator wanting to live forever, but being corrupted by the power that he has. With him killing Catnap here, like I think we'll see Catnap in Chapter 4 being a part of the Prototype some way. And I think Catnap let the Prototype kill him because he views the Prototype as a god, so he's taking him away so he can become part of the Prototype machine as almost like a reward for great service and faithfulness. Yeah, like but listening to like the tapes, especially the nightmare sequence, it really brings kind of just like, it kind of shines the light almost on that Elliot Lugwood is still alive in some form in the Prototype, and he's pulling the strings from behind the scenes. He's somehow controlling the toys. He's controlling his creations, especially when we watch the Hour of Joy tape here. Definitely think that Elliot Lugwood is the Prototype. My second theory that I haven't really found a lot of evidence to support it is there is a tragedy where they didn't really explain too much of what the tragedy was, but I feel as if it's Elliot Ludwood's child has died. Maybe he had a son, and he took his child's brain and he put that into the prototype, and the prototype, not really understanding what is happening because he's a child, is kind of lashing out in confusion and anger and not understanding why he didn't die when he knows he already died. So those are my two theories. I'm leaning more towards the Elliot Ludwood one, just because I think that would be more of an exciting twist, because we already know about him. But comment down below if you have other theories, and don't forget to subscribe.
Every moment of it. It went on so long, so agonizingly long. They tried to hide, to run, anything to stay alive. I remember their cries. What's going on? Why is this happening? What are those things? Senseless slaughter, that's all it really was. They killed everyone. The guilty, the innocent, didn't matter. All of that death didn't fix anything. And then, once it was all over, they dragged those corpses down below where they'd never be found. And they ate the bodies to stay alive. The prototype has to die. For this. For everything. Soon as we reach the bottom, we'll send the lift back up. Just hold tight, okay? After you. Alright, once we hit the ground, we need to be cautious. There's something...